in the Israel education field, there's motivation, there's a need, there's demand from the ground up by young people to understand Israel and all of its complexity. And we had some partnerships in this field with Birthright in the past, with Hillel, but we over the last several years started to look at where we could build partnerships where there was a need for us. And we focused on, and I don't want to get too into this because it's part of our next panel, but we really highlighted a partnership. We looked at the ICE Center as a very, the Center for Professionalization of Israel Education with capacities and reach to Jewish educators across the country. And we wanted to get to know them. And luckily, they were happy to also get to know us. And we worked on building a collaboration that brought our content expertise, what we can bring about the realities of Arab society in a very pragmatic way, to their pedagogical capacities, and built a very strong collaboration that so far has emerged with a module and complex identity for experiential educators, a co-branded resource that you'll find in your folders that we're very, very proud of. And it shows the spirit of our collaboration and is now shared and used widely. And you'll hear more about that. We continued to learn more about the field so that we can develop the right partnerships. We have a good partnership and relationship development with Birthright to bring the work that the training and the capacity building that we did in Israel with their staffers to the American Jewish context and other Israel education organizations. We also looked at deepening partnerships with different kinds of organizations, and we're super happy to get a call from the Boston, the Combined Jewish Philanthropies of Greater Boston, and this will also be on our panel in a little bit, where we were very inspired by their interest after May 2021 to look deeper into shared society issues in Haifa. Haifa is a mixed city, is a partner city. We facilitated a 6-month-long advisory task force planning process for them that was really walking the talk. We were so inspired by the fact that Boston brought in American Jewish board members, Haifa, Arab Haifaim, Jewish Haifaim, for a shared learning and recommendations process. And this was not an easy or an obvious thing for a federation to do with its footprint. And it was an incredible honor for us to be to have the responsibility of trying to hear every stakeholder and suddenly look at the relationship between a funding organization and a partner relationship as a trilateral multi-stakeholder conversation that had to bring the Bostonian side into a shared society conversation. And you'll hear about whether and how, where we are in the process in a little bit. Along with this, we still, even though we said we were going to focus on impactful partnerships like this, we continued to do our educational work in total because we serve a wide membership, and because these issues are now in the mainstream, we continue to engage different partners. We ended up producing 48 different events with 26 different partner organizations during the year. And that's no small amount of running around, and we're extremely proud of the reach. And over the years, whenever we've done this presentation, it's been a lot about outputs, and because how many events we do, how many people we can reach, how many speakers we can bring. But there's something ineffable, something a little bit hard to qualify about the texture and the quality of the relationships and how they've deepened over the years, and how every one of these events represents a partner that is having a different kind of conversation with us when it comes to bringing these issues into their structure and into their DNA. And this is something that we see continuing, and we believe that we're going to continue to look for the impactful partners, for the open doors. Again, not to tell any organization what to think or what to do with these issues, but to bring the substantial data, insights, trends, professional language as a service to organizations who need to match it and see where it dovetails with their professional interests, activities, and priorities. And now, I rather than say more in general, I think it's really exciting to hear from different organizations, not all our partners. There's a moment in this field where, after May 2021, we were worried that, obviously worried about what's happening in Israel when there were Jews and Arabs fighting in the streets. We were concerned that the American Jewish community that had been leaning into issues of shared society would pull back. And they didn't. We got really a lot more demand after May 2021. And we still, and that interest in these issues and that recognition of having to learn, having to be informed, having to understand majority-minority relations in Israel in a deep way hasn't waned. And so our case study panel is both indications of different organizations that come from different backgrounds that have deepened their engagement with these issues, both ones we work with and ones who have a big footprint in these issues and have chosen to do so independently. And can I invite Erica, our moderator, and our panelists. Thank you very much.